Stefanie Powers!
Stefanie Powers with us right now!
Stefanie, hi!
Peter Smith.
Steph.
Peter, I'm just going
Yes,
to Peter.
Debbie.
Hi, Peter.
Peter Smith.
Yeah, I can just about hear you.
Hello, Peter. No, I just want to ask you, what's the longest thing you've ever seen?
Ooh. It was actually an alligator that decided to chase me after my brother-in-law had been throwing logs at it.
Really?
Yes, it was about 14 feet long and scared the hell out of me.
In Croydon?
Yeah, there you go. Right up the high street.
Because that's today's question of the day, because it's the longest day of the year. Stefanie Powers, what's the longest thing you've ever seen?
Well, besides that, I think it was the Emmy Awards show, which is a television awards show.
Yes, it
Where you
drags,
sit
doesn't it,
there
sometimes?
and wait to be nominated and know you're not going to win.
That's the longest
that's
thing.
the longest
Is it just dull?
thing.
Is it dull?
Yeah, it's dull. I go in my pajamas. It's very nice.
She goes in her pyjamas, second of all.
I'll bring her in her pyjamas any time to the end.
I bet you would.
Okay, now we're here for one reason, and one reason only. That's to watch a fantastic film about our little section called Weird World. And Zig, you're particularly looking forward to this, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
But now it's
I've
time
got no idea what it's about.
It's about ghosts and ghoulies, and it's time to put a pillow over your head and duck down under the duvet. Yes, because it is the very weird world. So was that weird or nutty, do you think? Genuinely weird or nutty?
Which one?
The man.
Or both of
Yes.
the above? A or B or both of the above?
He was nutty, wasn't it? That's basically... Were you scared at any point during that film, Zig?
I wasn't watching, I was talking to Stefanie.
Oh, thank you.
That makes sense.
So were all of us, viewers. The thing is, we were talking
you
about the
can't tell
World
them.
Cup and about its popularity in the States. That's what we were talking
Chris,
about.
you can't tell the viewers
What?
that.
No, I
You
know.
can't let them know.
Zag, you're such a caring, sharing
Oh,
alien.
no, but the question about the clip is, where are they sunbathing? But remember, don't phone.
It's just fun.
These modern girls.
And now it's time to go upstairs. I must say, she is so beautiful,
Stefanie
Stefanie Powers. Oh, she's beautiful.
I like all that kind of cocktail.
Oh, we're talking about jewellery.
Don't we look good with all of this? We are completely a symphony of black and white this morning. As you can see, I am joined right now by the queen of the mini-series, and she is famed for her love of animals, her perfect hairdo, the symphony of black and white that she is today. And not only that, you may not know, she speaks 7 languages.
Do I
7.
really?
Yes, you do.
Oh.
And she's this gorgeous
This is
glamorous-
wonderful. I'm very glad to see this is
With
a fake
Stefanie Powers.
fur. This is nice. And it's a fake fur without any association with any living creature. Nothing
And you
ever
approve
looked
of
like
that,
this.
don't you?
Well, you know, the funniest thing about fake fur is that people who like to wear fake fur profess that it's not, you know, it has nothing to do with the animals. And so what we shouldn't do is actually facsimilize. If the message is that the animal, the fur looks better on the animal than it does on us, then we shouldn't actually facsimilize a real animal, should we? We should make
So
a
it shouldn't look
fantasy
like
out of it.
real mink.
No, this is great because it doesn't really look like anything, but it's got...
It's
fun.
cowhide.
Is it? If you say so.
Aptly enough. Now, you've just finished making the new episodes of Heart to Heart.
Yes.
Why did you decide to bring it back after, I mean, it's nearly a decade, isn't it?
Well, actually, we were sort of, it was sort of pulled from us in a rather unceremonious fashion when we had done it as a series, as a 1-hour series. We had no idea that we were going to be canceled. We loved doing the show. And in fact, the Sunday before the Monday that they announced all the lineup on for the coming year, I was in Paris doing a miniseries, another miniseries, and I got a telephone call from Robert Wagner who said we're not on the air, and we both burst into tears, and we were very sad for 10
What,
minutes.
you and Robert Wagner were on the phone crying?
Crying, yes.
Oh.
Oh, it's nice. It's lovely. And so we always wanted to sort of come back and put a period at the end of the sentence. And this is a new generation of it insofar as it's not 1 hour, it's 2 hours.
But you look exactly the same. Both of you.
darling. So do you.
I don't actually. You look exactly the same. How are you managing to defy the aging process?
Fear. No, I'm sorry. Well, a healthy lifestyle, I suppose. I don't know.
Is it true you only eat once a day?
Oh, well. If I want to stay slim, I only eat once a day. If I want to not stay slim, I eat twice a day.
Okay. So that extra meal makes the difference, does it?
It does for me.
Do you, the whole world, of course, mourned when Freeway the dog kicked it.
Yeah.
So, what did you find a replacement for him?
We did, and he's remarkably similar. In fact, he's a little bit, I hate to say this, poor old Charlie is up in doggy heaven, but this one is a little bit more clever. And,
Really?
yeah, but he looks very much like
Did Freeway keep blowing his lines?
Poor Freeway. Poor Freeway couldn't growl. He was the nicest dog in the world. And whenever we wanted to have him bare his teeth, they tried everything humanly possible. They even tried rubber bands up here. And he'd just look at us wagging his tail with the rubber bands tied up, trying to show his teeth. And he was not a mean dog.
Did you ever have a crush on Robert Wagner? Ever?
Well, didn't you?
Yeah, huge one.
Of course.
I met him once, and I did have it
still do.
immediately. Because he married, I mean, his wife looks quite like you. Do you think that was...
We don't actually look...
Do you not?
I promise you, we don't
I
look
thought he
anything
was
alike.
desperate and just settled for someone who looked quite like you.
But there really isn't a similarity if you saw us together, but we're always being mistaken for one another.
Your house sounds a bit like a menagerie. Do you have a
Which
million?
one?
Well, it all does. You always
it
seem to
all
be
does.
surrounded by animals and
Yes,
horses.
a lot.
And
Yes, lots. I like them very much. They're my four-legged children.
do you love it? Where do you like being best in the world? You always seem to be quite nomadic. Where are you happiest?
Well, it also depends what's going on in the weather. I have a great commitment in Africa, and so therefore it requires a lot of travel. And the William Holden Wildlife Foundation is an ongoing project which is currently serving about 10,000 students a year in our main facility. We also have an outreach program into the bush which copes with another 1,200 families. So it's
Gosh, you're busy.
It's quite busy, yes.
It's been very, very lovely to be on the bed with you. It
Oh,
really
thank you
has.
so much.
I'm sorry it was so brief.
Yes.
And now it's time to go over to Peter Smith with Big Breakfast News.